say I had one of my very first teaching placements at a primary school where I got to observe, help, and instruct some year 1s and 2s. Now in Australia, a year 1 or a year 2 is about 7 or 8 years old. They were a lot of fun, they were very nice, considerate kids, and they weren't the most mature, but I think this argument between Martin Rios and Sean Nalewanyj is even less mature than the 8-year-olds I helped teach how to read. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. We're back with Martin Rios this time. I have made a video on his brother Mario Rios in the past. By the way, if you're going to have twins, don't give them names that sound the same. Why would you do that to them? Anyway, he has come across the path of Sean Nalewanyj, a very old school bodybuilder in the fitness space. He's been around for over 10 years. He combines evidence-based thinking with experience and logic and common sense, which is not done enough sometimes among science-based lifters, which is why he is the absolute GOAT. Meanwhile, Martin and Mario Rios promote this athletic bodybuilding where you use more free weights, you do less stable exercises for the goal of building a more aesthetic physique, and to do exercises that may or may not cross over better into athletics. We're going to be responding to the reaction video of the reaction video of the reaction video. Anyway, let's get started.
If you don't know who I am, my name is Martin Rios, but my friends call me Marvin Ruffles. I have a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science, and I'm a certified strength and conditioning coach. And in this video, I'll be reacting to Sean Nalewanyj's reaction to me, and explaining why I believe you should change your workout routine every 4 to 6 weeks, and not use the same routine for an extremely long period of time.
Okay, so this entire drama, series of videos is predicated on them arguing over if you should change your workout routine every 4 to 6 weeks. I've already seen Sean's shorts on this. He says you should basically maintain the same routine for an extended period of time, and Martin thinks you have to change things up every 4 to 6 weeks to confuse the muscle or because variation is good, and variation is good. Anyway, what is my take on this? Should you change exercise every 4 to 6 weeks? No, you just should not. Let me explain why. You see, when you get stronger at exercise, that can be because of one of 2 types of adaptations that can occur. Muscular adaptations, which is what you want. It's when the muscle that you trained got bigger, and that's why you could produce more force. But there's also number 2, which is neural adaptations. Your brain can learn to fire your muscles more efficiently, thus allowing you to produce more force and recruit more motor units. The problem with changing your exercise every 4 to 6 weeks is that in those first 4 to 6 weeks, most of your progress is probably going to come from neural adaptations. You yourself in the gym, I'm sure we've all swapped out our exercises on occasion, and I'm sure that you've noticed that when you do a new bicep curl variation, you progress in it really quickly in the start, and then after that it kind of plateaus. And the reason for that is because at the start, you were developing more neural adaptations. And whereas towards the end, when you're only adding maybe a rep a week, you were producing more muscular adaptations. This doesn't mean you can't grow muscle changing exercise every 4 to 6 weeks. Truthfully, as long as you train to failure, you build muscle. However, it can become a problem when you're trying to track your progress. You can't really figure out if you've plateaued or not if, again, you're constantly changing exercises. It's more about tracking progression and making sure you're on the right path and making sure that the progress that you do have in your logbook isn't just from the novel stimulus of the new exercise you started doing last week. I would say for the most part, keep your exercises the same. Only change an exercise when you either A, start to feel pain from it, i.e. joint pain, tendon pain, etc. Number 2, you just stop enjoying the exercise and you find it miserable to gruel over those 3 sets and you'd much rather mix it up, which is perfectly fine. Or number 3, you simply stop progressing.
Jeffrey mentioned in his upper body workout routine video that he used the same workout routine for 1 year straight. This is a terrible idea, and you should switch your workout every 4 to 6 weeks. Training variation is a great way to prevent physical stagnation as your body becomes accustomed to the routine, and mental stagnation because you won't get bored doing the same routine.
So if your goal is muscle atrophy rather than hypertrophy, then Marvin Ruffles here is a great source of information. But if you actually want to make real gains, then no, you don't want to be constantly changing your program. If you're stalling out that often, it's not because your body magically adapted and stopped responding, it's because you don't know how to program or how to train, or both. Mixing things up every few weeks is actually one of the worst approaches because you can't accurately track progressive overload, since it'll be harder to separate out whether the strength increases are from actual muscle growth or just from the improved central nervous system efficiency you get when you perform a new movement.
Sean Nalewanyj pretty much just nailed it in the coffin right there. He pretty much explained what I just explained, but in a far better, more fluid fluent and expressive manner. Let's see how Mr. Rios responds to Sean Nalewanyj's video.
So first, Shane claims that I apparently say that you should change your workout routine every 4 to 6 weeks because you're plateauing. I never said that you should change your workout routine every 4 to 6 weeks because you're plateauing. I said you should do this to prevent plateaus. Now, why do I say this? I do this because your body and your nervous system become adapted to the workout you're doing, aka repeated exposure leads to diminishing returns.
Your nervous system adapts to the specific movements you do. For example, again, like I said before, if you do the same bicep curl variation for a while, your nervous system is learning the pattern, it's mapping the movement, and that's why you see a lot of progress when you start a new exercise. However, again, that's a lot of nervous system adaptations. If your goal is hypertrophy, then you're going to actually want to keep that exercise, because once you slow down, once you're only adding a rep here and there, that means the adaptations you are making, the strength increase that you're seeing, is from muscular adaptations and not from your nervous system. You should not be plateauing on your gains from doing the same exercise for 6 weeks. You just shouldn't be. If you can't do an exercise for more than 6 weeks and still see progress, that probably means you're doing something wrong, and the only reason you were seeing progress in the first place was because of those very quick central nervous system adaptations.
A 2022 study titled "Does Varying Resistance Exercises Promote Superior Muscle Hypertrophy and Strength?" It states, the available studies indicated that varying exercise selection can influence muscle hypertrophy and strength gains. Some digress that systemic variation should be approached systematically with a focus on applied anatomical and biomechanical constructs. On the contrary, employing different exercises that provide a redundant stimulus as well as an excessive rotation of exercises may actually hinder muscular adaptations. So essentially they found that exercise variation can influence gains.
The study just said, and I repeat, on the contrary, employing different exercises that provide a redundant stimulus as well as an excessive rotation of exercises, may actually hinder muscular adaptations. The study is straight up saying if you keep changing your exercises out, aka rotating them around every few weeks, that will hinder muscular adaptations. The study he just cited proves him wrong. It straight up says he's wrong. You have a bachelor's degree. But yeah, variation's a good thing. No one wants to do the same thing every time. No one wants to get the same delicious and sexy, caramel latte. Sometimes you want a chocolate latte or a vanilla latte if you're boring, right? You don't want to have the same thing over and over again. For example, in a workout routine, instead of only doing one type of vertical pull, like a neutral grip pull-up, maybe on the second pull day of the week, you do a pronated grip pull-up to hit the muscles of the back in slightly different ways. If you swap out exercises and you're going to failure, you can still grow. But like Sean said in his previous video, it's a lot harder to track progressive overload. A lot of people plateau in their gym progress and they simply don't know they've plateaued because they don't keep track of their weights, of their reps, how many steps they're doing, all that stuff. And you don't keep track for a very long period of time. It's very easy to plateau and not realize it. But the point is, Sean is right, Martin Rios is wrong. And if you want me to react to more of Martin Rios's epic hot takes, let me know in the comment section down below. Go subscribe to Sean Nalewanyj. He makes excellent gym content, even if his upload schedule is absolutely atrocious. Give Martin Rios a follow too. I think most of his content is pretty solid, especially if you're an athlete. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.